What's up, y'all? I'm out here at the range, as you can see back behind me, and as you can see, I'm bundled up out here today because it is freezing cold out here. The wind's blowing about 15 miles an hour. I definitely underestimated how strong this wind was going to be blowing today, or my butt wouldn't have been out here, I'll just tell you now. But I'm already out here now. I'm already set up, so I'm going to try to get a couple tests done. So we got the jelly contraption set up with the chrono. Everything's weighted down out here, as you can see, so hopefully it won't blow over. I got 2 freshly melted blocks of gel. No test done in these so far. I've also got the heavy clothing barrier strapped down out here with the layer of denim, layer of fleece, and then 2 layers of the cotton t-shirt material. And what we're checking out first, as y'all can see, is some of this Speer Gold Dot Gen 2, the next generation Gold Dot stuff. We got some 40 Smith & Wesson and some 9mm. Now, both of these things are pretty heavy for caliber. You got 180 on your 40, and then you got 147 on your 9. So heavy for caliber stuff. It doesn't have any ballistics on the box of either one of these. As you can see, definitely a different projectile from your standard Gold Dot. It's got that silicone-like elastomer, I believe they call it, filling in the front there, and it looks like the cavity is much more shallow, and it's got some different cuts there on the jacket. But there's your 40, and then here's your 9. So nickel plated cases, and both of them's got that new projectile style. And now this stuff is labeled duty ammunition, so I'm going to run them out of the longer barrels here. For the 40, we got the Glock 20 with about the 4.5-inch barrel, and then for the 9, I've got my P80 here, which is basically a Glock 17, so same thing, 4.5-inch barrel on that. But I'm personally very curious to see how both of these things do. Really not so much a 9 versus 40, even though that's what the title is, more just to see what both of these calibers do with this new style projectile. So hopefully I can get it done without getting blown down. Let me set everything up and let's check them out. All right, let's get us some speed, y'all. I'm gonna do a 5-round average from each one. We're gonna start with these 147 grain 9mm first. So let's see what they run. And like I say, nothing on the box at all, so your guess is as good as mine. 10-11, 10-13, 10-24, 9.95, and 10-15. So they started out pretty consistent, got a little dippy here and there. Let's check the average out. All right, so our 5-round average on that 9mm is 1,011 feet per second. So we did break 1,000, which you always like to see, but 147 grain projectile, it definitely needs to be engineered right to give us some good performance. So let me get this reset and let's see what the 40 does. All right, let's see what these 40s do, y'all. I'm gonna do a 5-round average here also. If I was gonna make any guesses, I would say these are probably gonna be running about the same as those 9s, but let's see what we get here. 958, 967, 946, 938, and 959. So not quite as fast as that 9, but right around there. Let's see what that average is. All right, so our 5-round average that time from the 40 Smith & Wesson was 953 feet per second. And what's funny is the extreme spread from the 40 and the 9 is exactly the same. They both had a 29 extreme spread. So 953 velocity on the 40, and if y'all remember on that 9, it was 1,011. So you're talking about 58 feet per second faster from the 9mm. So both of them I'd like to see a little bit faster, but hopefully Speer got these projectiles right. Let me reset this stuff, and y'all know what time it is. All right, y'all, it's if it ain't broke, don't fix it jelly time. I'm gonna put 1 round from each into the gel, starting with this 9 first. Let's see what these things can do with the fancy elastomer in the end. All right, that should have been a good hit. Let me go down there and see what we got. All right, we're looking really good down there so far, so let's see what this 40 can do. After seeing that, even though this was moving a little slower, I believe this one's gonna do pretty good too. I'm gonna try to put this one high and right. I'm probably really pressing my luck, but let's see what happens. All right, I'm not sure exactly where I got. I think I went out the side to the right. Let me go check. All right, that one did come out the side, but it traveled an awful long way before it did, and we don't have a whole lot of disruption, so I'm wondering if that thing expanded or not. I'm not feeling too great about this 40 anymore, but let me try to move it on to the middle some. I was trying to be a little stingy with my blocks here, but let's see. All right, I think I was right beside the 9 that time. I can even see the entrance. Let me see what happened down there. All right, that confirmed what I pretty much thought about that 40. That thing went through both blocks, no kind of expansion, you can just tell it all. So that's a no-go for me with this stuff in the 40. I'm gonna send one more round of this 9 down there just to verify, since that 40 was like it was, just to make sure we didn't get lucky on that 1.9. So let's see what this one does. I think this one's gonna do good too. All right, I went a little bit low, but it shouldn't have curved down. Let me see what we got. All right, y'all, let's take a look at what we got down here. So unfortunately, that last round that we sent through the 9 mil was definitely not what I wanted to see, but it is what it is. So what we got here first off is this one right here in the front with a really nice looking disruption. That was the very first 9 mil. It came in, obviously opened up really nicely, very nice wound channeling disruption, just barely into this second block, maybe an inch, I say barely, but about an inch into this second block. And it's a big old mangled up mess right there. So I'm assuming it did expand pretty nicely. And then next was this one on the top in the back there. That was the first one out of 40. Plain to see. I'll give you some other angles where you can see really good, but there was no expansion right there on that thing. Just a little bit of disruption as it comes through as a solid into the second block and exits that second block off your screen down here about 3/4 of the way through. And there's no doubt in my mind it would have went all the way through both of them had it not veered out to the right. So then of course I sent another 40 to verify and see what went on here, and it's actually right behind that 9 mil, but it looks exactly like these other ones that y'all are seeing. Not the real nice one, but the other ones that didn't perform. Just minor disruption all the way through the first block into the second, and all the way through the second and out the end down here. So no expansion at all on that one for sure. So then the last one to verify the 9 is right down here on the bottom, and as you can see, you'll be able to see here a little bit better in a minute, but it looks exactly like the other two of the 40s that did not expand. Just minimal disruption here all the way through the first block into the second block. Right here, this extra disruption is definitely a tumble, and when it does tumble, it kind of goes down and bounces off the air bubble down here on the bottom of the block, and it almost made it out the end and is sitting down here at the very end turned around backwards. No expansion in it, and you can just tell it's full of cloth. Now as far as the penetration, the only one that didn't just go completely out both blocks is this first 9 mil. It stopped at exactly 17.5 inches. So here's an overhead view so you can see a little bit better. This one right here, of course, with the nice disruption, that was the first 9. This one over here was the first 40. As you can see, like I was saying, very little disruption. And then that was the second 40, again, that you couldn't see from that front angle. It looks almost exactly the same as the first one. Very, very little disruption. You can follow it on down. There's that first 9. And in the 40s, as you can see, the one kept on zipping, went out the side there, and the other one all the way out the end. And here's where that last 9 came in. Again, no kind of disruption really to speak of there into the second block. That's definitely a tumble right there, and kind of makes it veer down and hits that little air bubble there, kind of gives it a little bounce, and there you see it sitting backwards. All right, y'all, let's check out these couple of 9 mil projectiles. That's all we got to look at is these two 9 mil, because obviously the 40 checked out on us. But as you can see, one did good, one did terrible. The one that did terrible, you can see here, just absolutely packed full of that cloth. I mean, just packed full of it. Even with that little silicone insert, or not even really an insert, but that little bit of silicone glued in the front there, it just still completely clogged up with that cloth. But then this first one was a totally different story. Really nice expansion on this one. I actually really like the design of this projectile. I don't know how well it's going to come through, but you can tell this is some really nice, thick, hard lead. The petals, they got a lot more lead on them than a lot of projectiles do when they peel back. I don't know what happened here, just some kind of little weirdness going on there. But again, this one performed nicely. If it would perform like this every time, then this is definitely a winner right here. But 50%, or really, if you count all of them together, 25% success is an absolute fail. But let's get a couple measurements on them anyway. As far as the weight, they started at 147. This one here that did expand is at 146.2, so probably a little bit of loss of some lead, little pieces here and there. And then this one here that did not expand is 147 exactly, so obviously nothing lost, no kind of expansion or anything out of that. And now as far as expansion, obviously this one here, we got absolutely nothing. You got 355, and then this one here that we did get some expansion on, you got 655, 685, and 6 6.56. So like I said, really nice expansion on that one. It's just a shame that the inconsistency is the way it is, because there is no way I would personally carry this thing being this inconsistent. So there you have it, y'all, the Speer Gold Dot G2 in 9mm and 40. In my opinion, both of these are an absolute fail. Now this one right here, if you isolate this one round, that was definitely a success, but the rest of them just total failures. No kind of expansion at all. It makes me wonder, I mean, they put that elastomer, that filling inside there like they knew that there was an issue with clogging, but did you even test it after you put that filling in? I mean, after the rounds were done, did they test these at all? I really find it hard to believe that they did. All right, y'all, that's a wrap for a very disappointing 9mm versus 40 test. These things just did not have what it takes to overcome this heavy clothing barrier. Now that 1.9 that decided to act right, I don't know what got into that one. If they would all do that, they would be some really nice looking rounds. Like I said, I really like the design of that projectile, but it makes you wonder why they chose to redesign this and then fill it with that elastomer to avoid clogging, if it's gonna clog anyway. Like I already said, that makes it very hard for me to believe that they did any kind of testing through clothing to see if it did clog. I was going to mention that if any of y'all out there wanted to see this through a shorter barrel, I'd retest them through a short one, but after seeing the results in these longer barrels, there's just no sense in it. These things are an absolute fail in my opinion. But y'all let me know what y'all think about it. Do any of y'all out there carry these things? After seeing what you're seeing here today, is it changing your mind? Are you still going to stick with them? Let me know down in the comments what your thoughts are. If you did enjoy this video, reach down and hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you turn on your notifications so you don't miss good stuff when I upload it. Y'all check out those affiliate links in the video description. If you shop through Amazon, hit up my storefront link first. You'll go right through Amazon like normal after that, and anything you buy anywhere on the site, I get a kickback from them towards the channel. Same goes for those Axle links. This is another perfect example of why those things are just so nice. These GS Extreme earbuds, I'm wearing them right now, and I'm still able to keep my ears warm with this crazy cold wind out here. So if you're looking for some really nice ear pro, check those links out down there, and you can save a lot of money instead of hitting up their site directly. As always, I appreciate all my Range Gang members and every single one of y'all out there for supporting the channel. I'm gonna try to get one more video knocked out while I'm out here, but after that, I'm getting out of here because this wind is absolutely brutal out here. Tons of good stuff headed y'all's way, so be on the lookout. And in the meantime, stay safe, stay prepared, and I'll see you soon.